Hello, my name is Mansa, and I would like to talk about manufacturing sector, particularly in the context of India and unemployment that is one of the biggest challenges that our country is facing today. If we see manufacturing is very critical because it drives GDP growth and it contributes to it boosts our exports and it helps in large scale creation of jobs, especially for the semi skilled workers. And this is even more relevant today because of the entire geopolitical situation that we have been seeing, and countries opting for China plus one strategy, where the global firms are basically trying to diversify supply chains away from China, which creates potential and gives major opportunity for India in this field. So, at the moment, currently, if you look at the GDP contribution of the manufacturing sector, it is about 15 to 17%, but the target set by the country is about 25% by 2030. However, at the same time, for that to happen, India needs to sort of create almost 10 million jobs a year that is outside of the agriculture sector, which would make manufacturing essential for absorbing such a huge amount of workforce. And it's not it is clearly very evident that we have a huge unemployment problem in the country, where um, along with disguised unemployment, especially which we see in the agriculture sector. And while we say that the overall unemployment rate had improved significantly, which has fallen from about 6% to 3.2% in 2023-24, but the challenge still remains, especially when we look at the higher unemployment levels in urban youth. That is and then there is a huge amount of skill gap that we see. But at the same time, we are also seeing an increase in the female labor force participation, which is a good signal. But we just do not have enough jobs for absorbing the uh, youth workforce that is entering every year. And even if we look at this from a policy perspective, the government of course is supporting manufacturing thoroughly through PLI schemes across different sectors, which is focused on boosting the production, domestic production in particular. And also, if we look, we can also see that the uh, labor codes have been simplified for ease of hiring and the compliance. And also, we've seen Shram Shakti Nidhi, which is focused on AI based job matching, matching the requirements with the skills, and also National Career Service platform that is to align skills with the industry demand. These are the reforms that government uh, is bringing in order to attract investment, reduce inefficiency, and improve the employment workforce. But there are structural challenges that still remain, and they need to be addressed. And those are the infrastructure gaps, uh, which which increases the logistic costs, and a huge shortage of skilled labor that is basically pushing the firms away from hiring people, and instead go for automation in their factories. And we've also seen the regulatory and financial issues that are impacting our MSMEs, and there have also been increasing input costs and import dependencies, which is hurting the competitiveness of the domestic firms. And and nevertheless, we have been going in that direction. But there is also significant global competition that we see from Southeast Asian countries and China, which which limits the scale at which Indian firms produce goods. So the thing is, there is significant opportunity, and manufacturing has potential to add up to $500 billion in output by 2030. But there is also a lot of risk that is involved, especially in our country, because if if this infrastructure and skill gaps are not addressed, then what we call as our strength, which is the youth of the country, where we say that we have the highest population of youth, and which is our which is our competitive advantage, could actually come to our disadvantage if that is not being addressed, because there are almost 12 million people that are entering workforce every year, and if there are no enough jobs, then they're of no good, because that is going to just have a cascading effect on the entire economy. And it's really really important for us to keep an eye on how exactly are the policies being shaped, and how exactly is it going to have an impact. And while there is a significant opportunity that is being presented to us, it's very important that we leverage the China plus one shift, and or act accordingly. So, in summary, I would just like to say that manufacturing is India's biggest opportunity for jobs and growth. Uh, but in order to turn this opportunity into reality, that will definitely depend on how effectively we address the structural challenges that just exist in our country. Thank you.